Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the penultimate prediction video for the 2022-2023 NFL season, where we are now finally in the conference championships. But before we do that, let's take a little recap of last week's games, where I went 4 for 4 in my personal predictions, which I'm quite proud of, to be honest. First game was Jacksonville versus Kansas City, where Kansas City barely got a victory over the Jaguars 27-20 in a game where Patrick Mahomes got injured pretty early on. High ankle sprain. Then he came back after halftime, and the reason why they were able to win after the offense kind of struggled a bit in that second half was because of key Jaguars turnovers on two drives late in the game that really turned the favor into Kansas City. But I just want to say good job on you, Jacksonville. You had a great season, nothing to be ashamed of. But the Chiefs were just a better overall team than you were, and they came away with the victory. Then the evening game on Saturday, the Philadelphia Eagles just absolutely demolished the Giants. Really showed how much of a gap there is between the Eagles and the Giants, where they just ran all over them. Jalen Hurts didn't really have to do anything. The Giants had a lot of turnovers. And the Eagles just physically dominated them on both sides of the ball. So, no real surprise that the Eagles managed to win that game. And then, kind of a surprising result on Sunday afternoon. I wasn't surprised that the Bengals won. I was surprised in the way they won. They dominated the Bills. That final score is not nearly as indicative of what really happened. But, no, the Bills got dominated by the Bengals. Everyone was surprised by that. And the Bills got a lot of questions to answer in the offseason. So it'll be really interesting to see what they do. And the Bengals, of course, move on to face the Chiefs. And then, sweetness for America. We saw the 49ers take out the Dallas Cowboys in honestly a really good defensive game. You see why these are two of the top defenses in the league. And you shouldn't be surprised if both D coordinators like D'Amico Ryans for the Niners and Dan Quinn for the Cowboys get opportunities to be head coaches somewhere else, because they know what they're doing. It just came down to which team will make the most mistakes, and of course it was Dallas, with Dak throwing 2 interceptions in the game really costing the Cowboys points. The 49ers didn't really do that well on offense, but they did enough to get the victory. And let's just say the final play that Dallas did was peak comedy. So that means our conference championships on Sunday the 29th is the San Francisco 49ers at the Philadelphia Eagles, and the Cincinnati Bengals versus the Kansas City Chiefs. The 49er Eagles game is going to be interesting because you have the strength of the Philadelphia offense going against the strength of the 49ers defense, particularly the pass rush of the Niners versus the O-line of the Eagles. If the Eagles can have some protection from Jalen Hurts, they should be able to take advantage of the weak 49ers secondary with guys like Brown, Smith, Goddard, and be able to run the ball a bit more too if they open up that passing game. For the 49ers, everything's going to come down to if they can score enough points. Can this offense get going enough against a pretty solid Eagles defense and be able to score enough points? Personally, I don't think so. I think the Eagles are going to hang 24 to 28 points on the 49ers defense. Nothing against the Niners. I just think the Eagles offense is that good. And I just don't think that Purdy and the 49ers offense can match that. So my representative for the NFC is the Philadelphia Eagles, which is really surprising considering no one expected them to win that division and be this good early in the year. And then the AFC Championship game is the Cincinnati Bengals taking on the Kansas City Chiefs in a rematch of last year's game, in which the Bengals were able to beat the Chiefs in overtime to make a surprising Super Bowl run. And so the thing here is, the main thing that everyone's going to be talking about all week is how healed is Pat Mahomes' ankle and how much mobility is he going to have. Because if he's like half as mobile as he normally is, the Bengals front, which had a ton of pressure on Josh Allen, only got 1 sack, but had a ton of pressure that disrupted his game. They're going to feast on that offensive line. that's going to be a big thing. Like, if Mahomes is able to be almost close to what he normally is, it's going to be a nice close game. But if he's not, if he's half mobile as he is, I think the Bengals have a huge advantage on defense because I think that the Bengals offense is going to tear apart that secondary of the Chiefs, especially with Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd, Joe Mixon is probably going to have a good game. So right now, I am picking the Cincinnati Bengals to make back-to-back Super Bowls, which, what? Just how have the Bengals, who perpetually known as the Bungles, terrible since the 90s, lucked into Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase, and now have a potential to make back-to-back Super Bowls? Absolutely incredible and insane. And so my official picks to make the Super Bowl for after this week is the Philadelphia Eagles taking on the Cincinnati Bengals. And that will be a very fun game. But let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel for more. And I'll see you guys again very soon.